The rain poured mercilessly on Sunset Boulevard, washing away the footprints of passers-by. Under the flickering neon light of an old diner, Keanu Reeves stood motionless, staring at a homeless woman huddled in the corner. Her thin frame trembled as she clutched a soaked piece of cardboard. "Please." "Just a chance," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the storm. Keanu squinted, his heart lurching. There was something familiar about her, something haunting. Then he saw it, a locket around her neck, gleaming under the streetlight. He knew that locket. He had given it to someone years ago, the woman he had once loved and lost forever. 20 years ago, Keanu had made a promise whispered through hospital sheets, between the slow beeps of a fading heartbeat. His wife, Alexandra, lay weak in his arms, her fingers tracing the outline of his face one last time. "Promise me," she murmured, her breath shallow. "Anything, my love." "One day, you'll meet someone who reminds you of me. Someone struggling. Help her, Keanu. Help her find her way." Tears slipped down his face as he nodded. "I promise." Years passed, and the promise lay buried beneath grief and time. Keanu buried himself in films, charity work, and solitude. Hollywood adored him, but he still walked alone, his heart locked away with Alexandra's memory. Then, on that stormy night, he saw the locket, and the past came rushing back. "Where did you get that?" Keanu's voice cracked, his fingers curling into fists. The woman's hollow eyes lifted to meet his. "It was my mother's," she said. "Before she died." A chill ran down Keanu's spine. What was her name? Alexandra. Alexandra Grant. His breath caught, his knees nearly buckled. This woman, this lost soul, was his late wife's daughter. Alexandra had never told him she had a child before they met. And now fate had brought her here, begging for a second chance at life. Without hesitation, he extended his hand. "Come with me. Let's change your life." The transition was not easy. Keanu brought her to his home, gave her food, shelter, and clothes. She introduced herself as Isabella, a struggling actress who had been swallowed by Hollywood's cruelty. She had tried, oh, how she had tried, to make it. But every door slammed in her face. Every casting director saw her past instead of her talent. Drugs, homelessness, bad choices. It had led her here. "You don't have to do this," Isabella whispered one night as they sat on his balcony overlooking Los Angeles. "I'm a lost cause." Keanu smiled, his voice calm yet firm. "No one is a lost cause. I see something in you, a light. Your mother saw it too." For the first time in years, she let herself cry. And for the first time in years, she felt something she had long forgotten. Hope. With Keanu's guidance, Isabella slowly rebuilt herself. He helped her enroll in acting classes, taught her discipline, and reminded her of her worth. "You're not just someone's daughter, Isabella. You're your own story. Now tell it." Months later, she landed her first role in an independent film. Then another. Soon, her name began to circulate. The industry whispered about the unknown actress with raw talent and a heartbreaking past. At the premiere of her breakout movie, she stood on the red carpet, eyes scanning the crowd. Then she saw him, Keanu, standing in the back, smiling proudly. Tears welled in her eyes. She ran to him and embraced him tightly. "Thank you, Keanu," she whispered, "for keeping your promise." The world celebrated Isabella's rise, but few knew the full story. One night, after a long shoot, she sat on her apartment floor, sifting through her mother's old belongings. A tattered diary fell into her lap. Curious, she flipped through its pages. Then she froze. One entry, written years ago, read, "I'm pregnant. I don't know how to tell him. Keanu loves me, but will he love our child? I'm scared, but I promise I will always protect her." Tears streamed down Isabella's face. Keanu wasn't just her savior. He was supposed to be her father. The truth had been hidden in time, but fate had reunited them in the most unexpected way. That night she picked up her phone and dialed the number that had saved her life. When Keanu answered, she whispered only 2 words. "Hey, Dad." Silence. Then a deep inhale and the quiet, trembling reply. "Hey, kid."